Hey Omnibus Collectors, it's time for another
Omnibus of the Week!
Anyway, this time we're actually talking about an Absolute edition. It's the third Absolute I've ever bought, and the first one I'm actually doing a video for, but it's one that my wife said that I should really do, and that is for Absolute Transmetropolitan Volume 1. So this one came out pretty recently, I think sometime last month. It is the first of what's going to be, it looks like, 3 Absolute Edition hardcovers for Warren Ellis's Transmetropolitan series. This volume collects issues 1 through 18, plus I think one of the one-shots or something for the series as well. This is a DC Comics title from their Vertigo imprint. Originally it was published under the, I think it was called Helix imprint for the first 12 issues, and then after that it was, Helix was defunct and they made it into a Vertigo title. Anyway, Warren Ellis writes the series. It has art from Darrick Robertson, who's done a lot of different stuff. Off the top of my head, Wolverine with Greg Rucka was one of the things he did. Anyway, the series is about a journalist named Spider Jerusalem, and it's kind of a future shock series. It takes place in a future world that's very different from our own. There's integration with like extraterrestrials and alien life forms on Earth and stuff. So it takes place in a really interesting future that Warren Ellis has created. And Spider Jerusalem is a very much kind of a gonzo journalist. He's very clearly based on Hunter S. Thompson, slightly by his appearance, but mostly in just the way that he acts and the way that he writes. And it's very much about him doing this journalistic research and reporting on all these political things that are happening in the world at the time. So it's, you know, it runs about 60 issues, and it's really one continuous story throughout the entire series about Spider, you know, researching and writing about and publishing stuff about political things. Not to say any spoilers, but it does lead into a big conclusion in the series. You know, it does work up towards something. So it's a really, really wonderful series. I'm really happy to see DC and Vertigo finally collect it in a hardcover collection. I would personally have preferred it to have been in a deluxe format, you know, the oversized hardcovers rather than absolutes, because they're more price effective, or cost effective, I guess would be the good word to say there. They're more cost effective volumes, and they would match up better on my shelf. I don't have too many Absolute editions, so this one's kind of mismatched with the rest of my stuff, but it is an incredibly beautiful volume. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside that book. Alright, and here we have the slipcase cover and then the actual hardcover for the book. The slipcase has some, I believe that's new artwork just for the Absolute edition by interior artist Darrick Robertson, while the actual hardcover volume you see on the right has some of the original cover art by artist Jeff Darrow. So let's take a look at the slipcase. That's what the spine of the slipcase looks like. It's got the three-eyed smiley on the side, Transmetropolitan, Volume 1, Vertigo, and the back cover is some more artwork from Darrick Robertson. Very nice looking slipcase. And now we'll take a look at the hardcover itself. There's the front cover. Absolute Transmetropolitan on the spine, Warren Ellis, Darrick Robertson, and Rodney Ramos, Volume 1, Vertigo. And the back of the hardcover has some more old cover art by Jeff Darrow. I just want to take a quick look at the spine. Absolute editions have always had really, as far as I've been able to see, have always had really good binding. You see the little eye hole down there that leaves us with very little to no gutter loss, and the book will stay open really well no matter what page you're reading from. So I can flip it to the beginning and it stays open relatively well. I haven't really opened this at all, so this is more or less one of the first times that I'm actually flipping through the book, so that's why some of the pages are still flapping downwards. But it is really good, nice binding that should last for a good long amount of time and should be pretty easy to read. And as with the Absolute edition, it does come with a bookmark ribbon. All right, let's take a look at the inside of the volume itself. Some black and pink design, the smiley. This is the, I guess, credits pages, you could say. So, written by Warren Ellis, art by Darrick Robertson, with all the other artists, coloring, lettering, slipcase art, cover art, case art, all that good stuff. various other people involved, editors, people from DC and from Vertigo, some copyright information in there. And then we head into the table of contents, and it basically lists the titles of each issue and the pages that those issues begin on, from number 1 through, on the other page it goes to number 18, and then the Edgy Winter from Vertigo, Winter's Edge number 2, and the I Hate It Here one shot. And then there is an intro to the series as well, and that continues on to the next 2 pages, and that is from Stuart Moore, who's another writer and an editor. He was an editor at Vertigo. And then it goes straight into the beginning of the series. I'm really fond of Darrick Robertson's art here. I think it's portrayed really, really nicely in this series, and it comes out really well on these absolute-sized pages. Some more art from a little bit later in the series. It is a pretty graphic series, so there is some, sexual material at some points. Would not recommend it for younger readers. I know that some of y'all were concerned about the quality of the paper within. It is a pretty nice thick stock of paper. You can kind of tell, but it is not glossy. It is matte paper rather than being glossy, which is really nice, and I actually prefer that because it matches up with the paper that the book was originally printed on when it was published in single issues. So Vertigo and DC did a really good job with matching that, and they've also been doing that sort of thing with using this matte paper on older, not older, but like new paperback collections of older series like Mike Grell's Green Arrow and stuff like that. So the pages are they're definitely not thin. You don't have to worry about pages that you can see through, as we've had as an issue in some other books, but they are newsprint. I hesitate to call it newsprint because it's just matte. It's just matte paper. It's not newsprint paper per se. Newsprint paper would be more what is present on a lot of the paperback editions of Vertigo's books. So I'm just taking us on a quick look through a lot of the material in here. So you can see some of the artwork, how the pages look, how the art looks on these big pages. If you're already a fan of Transmetropolitan, then you're really going to love seeing this stuff, because before now we've just seen it on standard sized issues and paperback, so this is a real treat for a Transmetropolitan fan. And the I Hate It Here issue at the end has a bunch of art from a bunch of different really awesome artists, so it's nice to see all these different artists' interpretations of Spider Jerusalem. And I think this is one of the highlights of the book, just seeing all this really awesome art outside of Darrick Robertson's, which is fantastic from start to finish, but it's really awesome to see all this other art from various other artists throughout this volume. And then a bit of a cover gallery at the end here. Just look at some of those covers real quick. And then of course there's some creator profiles for Warren Ellis, Darrick Robertson, Rodney Ramos, Keith Aiken, Jerome K. Moore, Kim DeMolder, Ray Crissing, and Dick Giordano. And that takes us to the end. So that is Absolute Transmetropolitan Volume 1. So we took a good look inside that book, and hopefully you get an idea of what this book is, what it looks like, and if you were interested at all in purchasing Absolute Transmetropolitan, I hope that I guided you into your opinion. Personally, I think that when it comes to Absolute volumes, these are books that you would grab if you already know that you enjoy that series. Like, I already knew that I loved Transmetropolitan, so I bought it and I spent the extra money on it because I'm familiar with it and I know that I enjoy it. If you're someone who's not familiar with the series yet, I would recommend checking it out in some paperbacks. Similar to a lot of Vertigo titles that I've seen, it kind of picks up after the first paperback. You know, I didn't really get into it until like volume 2, which is really common to me. Like, there's a few different Vertigo titles that happened with me too, where I enjoyed volume 1, but it was really like volume 2 or volume 3 where it just kept getting better and better and better, and that's when I really fell for the series, and that's how I felt with Transmetropolitan. So if you're not already a fan of it, I would recommend picking up the first 1 or 2 paperbacks just to try it out, and if you really love it, you know, maybe grab the Absolute down the line, because it is a very beautiful book, as you can see here. As always, thank you so much for watching. It means so much to me that you guys watch my videos, spend time with me here. I'm going to put links down below to, you can find the book on Amazon, to my website, to my Facebook page, anywhere else that you can find and contact me. Go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed watching it. Comment down below and subscribe to my channel so you can keep watching more stuff. Also, I noticed that sometimes I'm not able to reply to comments that y'all leave me down below the videos, and as far as I've learned, I think that means that you haven't subscribed to me. So if you want me to talk to you and discuss with you stuff in my videos, please subscribe, and then I can reply to your comments and stuff. And anyway, again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.